Infection Prevention Control Office at Wilford Hall Medical Center at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, of course. She is a seasoned Toastmaster and joined the organization over 20 years ago. She is a proud member of the Get Up to Speak Toastmasters, where she served in all the officers' positions for the last 20 years and those new positions to come. I volunteer for them. DTM Reboul is also involved at the district level and served as area board director, division director, and this year she is assistant division director. DTM Reboul believes strongly in the value of Toastmasters International, respect, integrity, excellence, and service. She loves mentoring new members and sharing her knowledge and communication. Let us welcome Ms. Reboul. Next, but not least, Veronica Gardner is a dedicated director for environmental laboratory services at the San Antonio Water Systems. So if anything wrong with your water, you can contact Veronica. In her role, she is responsible for developing strategic policies and overseeing all facets of water and wastewater management. Godly is highly qualified, holding a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry from UT San Antonio and a Master's of Science in Waste Materials Management from Southern Methodist University. Her extensive professional journey includes notable positions at Kelly Air Force Base, the City of San Antonio, and St. Philip's College. In 2004, she joined the San Antonio Water Systems Fluent Communicators Toastmasters Club, where she excelled in various leadership roles, which included president, VP membership, VP education, and secretary. Ms. Godley is also an esteemed member of the Get Up to Speak Toastmasters Club, having joined in June of 2020.
Yeah, nice.
Veronica currently serves as the club's president. Beyond her professional achievements, Ms. Godley is an active volunteer, generously dedicating her time to organizations such as the Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas, the Food Bank of Texas, and the Texas American Waterworks Association Laboratory Committee. She also serves on the board of directors for Generation Federal Credit Union. In her personal life, is deeply involved in her church community, where she served with the media and dance ministry. She has been married to Kevin Dudley 33 years and counting. And they have two precious, beautiful children, or shall we say, young adults. Days, Sean and Cassie. She possesses a steadfast faith, firmly believing that with God all things are possible. Amen.
Good morning and welcome again. What a big group. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So many people in the room. Are you ready?
Yes.
Today we're going to talk about hosting a highly effective conference. This topic is very dear to our heart because we know that the most successful way to show and tell the value of Toastmasters International is by hosting a conference. So today, myself, Michelle Reboul, Veronica Godley, going to share with you some tips that have worked for our club, the Get Up to Speak Club at Lackland Air Force Base. The club has been in existence for over 20 years. So can you imagine how many open houses we have done? And let me tell you, the last one was very successful. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. First, we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. I know that the Toastmaster service already gave you a long resume, but myself, I love a lot of hobbies. I have a lot of them. gardening, hiking, drawing, and one of the most dear to my heart is traveling. So when I retired, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start traveling more than before. So last year, we went to 7 trips. One of them is right there. This is Dominican Republic. In December, I went and I was traveling and going down the street with my little Toastmaster magazines. You can see that. Now I'm gonna ask Veronica to tell us about her hobbies.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Already, I'm ready to go back to sleep, I'm ready to go back to sleep. Welcome again. I'm Veronica Galias, as Toastmaster Elbert and DTM are both has stated. I got the opportunity to go to Hawaii. Now, I've been there 33 years as one, so I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, and I just went last December. And as I enter into my next season, which means I'm about to approach retirement, which I don't know when, but I know it's coming soon, whichever soon is, I went to travel just like DTM Revolt. So my first trip was to Hawaii, and it was awesome. We're ready?
Yes. Now, the topic today is very dear to us, to Toastmaster International, to all the club here, because we are losing members. According to Toastmaster International, we have 40% attrition rate every year in the clubs. Wow. 2 years ago, our club Lackland last year, we finished with 21 members. Excellent, right? Yeah. Resident distinguished. This year, today, we have only 14 members. So we need to come up with at least 6 of them before the end of June. This is a problem, right? As you see on the slide, homeowners, when they are getting ready to move to another location, what do? Something very easy. Maybe not, is a realtor. You have to put your house in the market. And what they do is the open house. That's why I have this for you there. I think that our club, we need to recruit members, right? We need to attract guests. And that's the way that we're going to do that is by having open house of the club. And this is what we're going to share with you today. Very busy agenda. We have only 45 minutes, maybe less now. We're going to describe the open house. What is the open house? We have a definition. We're going to talk about the key components that we think that are important for you to be successful. Describe a program that you can adjust. Review benefits for guests, also for members. Open house is for both. Provide example of the planning process. We have copies, I think, and you can take with you, or we can make them available to you. And we have an activity we're going to do if you have time. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go.
We're gonna begin with talking about a membership funnel and how do we even attract members. I want you to think back. For those of you who were here in our last session, I talked about birds. Birds must be a theme today because I am going to talk about how you can attract members just like we do if a bird was sick and you found them or found her. I don't know if it's a he or she. Whatever it is, you're going to capture the bird because you want to bring it back. You want to build it up and make it healthy. It's no different than a member. You want to be able to capture a member's attention because you want to help them in improving, whether in communication or leadership. You have to be able to attract them to that. So showcase in your club. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to nurture a bird, nurture it back to health. What are you doing when you have a new member? You're going to nurture them as that new member comes aboard. You're going to give them tools in their toolbox. At some point, you're going to let that bird go and it's going to be converted. Because it's healthy and going to fly away. You're going to do the same thing with your toast with the member. You're going to convert them over to really enjoying Toastmasters and being an advocate now for Toastmasters overall. And eventually what's happened, you now have to build that partnership. As that bird flies away, it's going to get other partners along their trail, right? Well, that's what we're going to do with our members. They're going to be an advocate and become partnership and partner with other people. And that's what it's all about when you talk about open house. You're talking about capturing a person's attention, nurturing them, converting them, and then becoming an overall partner of Toastmasters.
Good.
So what are some of the benefits as a guest? They're going to experience the Toastmasters meeting. They're going to be able to build some of those social connections that we love. You know, we love to party here at Toastmasters. We love to eat, right? I know I do. I know about y'all, but I do. And then most of all, when you have guests, you want to leave them with something. One of the things that we like to leave with, to your right or to my right, I have packages, and we have packages and things to give away and provide. That's what you want to give to your new members coming in. And in that virtual space, although you may not see them, you can actually order them online as well. Just go out there and research it, Toastmasters.org.
We're gonna talk about key components, several of them. They are not in any chronological order, but we think that the processes are important. Welcoming environment, talk about showcases of your success stories, networking, budgeting. Let's start with welcoming environment. For me, this is two different parts. You have physical and you have mental. On the physical side, the room arrangement, your lectern, not have one, but the lectern, your chairs, the temperature of the room, is it hot, is it hot, physical environment. On the other side, mental environment is the mindset. Are you introvert or you extrovert? If you're an introvert, the day of the open house, turn into an extrovert. Why? Because this is an activity that you need to be very engaged. We're gonna welcome the guests with a very warm smile, give them a name tag with them sitting by a guest, someone that you invited them, or they can sit by you. Then after that, we have to smile, correct? We have to engage with them, ask them their name, we invited them, what are they expecting to do that day? Extrovert activity are very important. What are the activities? First, I'm going to talk about the icebreaker. Who here in the room thinks the icebreaker is a relaxing activity? Yes or no?
No.
This is to break the ice, right? So we think that when the members are invited, they are very nervous. They don't know what to expect. They are new there. So the icebreaker is the activity to release their anxiety. And also on the other side, for the members, they're also very tight because they want everything to be perfect. They work so hard all that time. So you need to relax them by icebreaker. Next, we have time speeches presentation. In your open house, I think this is very important to display your values. You can pick up a speaker, talk to them ahead of time. You can give them the topic you want them to cover, and of course, the time frame. Evaluation goes with speeches. This is one of the most important parts of your meeting. Let the guests know that the speaker will be evaluated during the meeting. So they have this set in mind. Speech evaluation, we just talked about that. Table topic. Do you think that we should have table topic at the open house? Yes or no? Yes. Table topic are very important. But please be careful of the subject that you're going to choose. Nothing controversial. Okay, stay away from politics, from church. So something very bland that you're gonna do. Also, ask one of the members to volunteer first before you ask the guest to volunteer. Why?
Yeah.
Because they don't know what to do and you don't want to embarrass them. Next, the paneling question. You're gonna say, come on, DJ, we don't have time for all of that. Yes, you do. Depends of the structure of your open house. If you have a panel, I could say to pick up experienced briefers, people that you know can answer the question. And the question, of course, is going to come from the members and the guests. Next, you might have also games. Do you think games are important? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, they are important. Why? To relax the environment. Please give a lot of explanation about the game first. I remember one of the open house, one of the guests she had tears in her eye because she didn't understand the game and she didn't know how to participate. So explain what you're gonna do and what give prizes at the end. People love to live with something in their hands.
Yeah.
Demonstrate an ideal meeting. That's why you have an open house. This is like a mini meeting you're gonna set up with what they can expect when they come to visit you. So you know it's be perfect.
So what does it take of some other key components that we want to have? One of the things you always want to do is display your club. You want to brag on your club. How good are they? Well, how good are you as a club? How good is your members overall? How do you do that? You have testimonials. Speak. We just talked about table topics. Use that 2 to 3 minute speech. Incorporate it into your as guests arise and talk to them. Would it be a 1 to 2 minute, 2 minute, 30 seconds? Practice makes perfect, as I always tell my children. You also want to show your educational chart. You say, why again? Because guess what? You're showing how well your members are growing, especially as they go down pathway. If you don't have an educational short, how can you show success within your club overall? And that's what it's all about. Remember what we're doing here. We're talking about communication and leadership. And all that takes practice. Let's showcase ourselves just a little bit. Continue to always engage and remember to post your club's participation overall in our Toastmasters Leadership Institute as well. You know what? You can't do nothing. I mean, you love to watch YouTube. And all they do is promoting what they do, right? I watch a lot of things on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. No matter what, you are promoting yourself. Promote your club. Use those same tools from social media and promote your club, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Discord, Nextdoor, all those different apps. Get involved, have your PR person, do your PR person, work with her or he, and be able to promote your club. One of the things we thought about in our process was develop a QR code for your club as well. And maybe that QR code, you can scan it, put those in libraries, schools. There's so many avenues that you can promote your club in all these different ways. In particular, open houses, because you want to bring in those members. And don't forget to refresh your material with TI materials. They may have some updates, go online. You don't have to order them, just do it online. If you have someone who has a computer, we all do. Print them out, post them. We all do. You have a phone you can print from your phone. And guess what, guys? When you do all that, it's all about networking. What do we do when we do lots of things with network? Networking doesn't stop here face to face. Because nowadays we have virtual spaces, right? You have phone spaces now. We didn't think about that when I was younger. We didn't think about that being networking. But guess what? It is networking now. Pick up the phones, reach out into your virtual space and have that opportunity. That's what it's all about. That's what you bring people into. Recently, we had we did different type of themes. When you set your theme, think about what type of people you want to come into your space for an open house. As you develop that, we're going to talk about that a little bit. But when you're networking, you want to bring that thing to them as well, because maybe something of interest. We had a session on tiny habits. It's like, how do you change my habits? I have some habits I need to do it step by step. That's how you do it. It's those capturing the attention of new members. You know what? It all takes money. No matter what it does, it took money to run this, it's gonna take money to do this as well. Create a budget, guys, please, create a budget. It doesn't have to be perfect. A budget is a planning tool. Doesn't mean the budget says $50 and you did 75. That's okay, as long as you got permission to spend that extra $25. But have an idea of how much you're going to spend. Work with your treasurer, work with your president, and decide what that's gonna be. And then budget accordingly.
Now we talk about all the key components. It was fun, right? It's not really easy. It takes planning. Now we're going to talk about the program. You can just change it, modify it. The theme. She mentioned the theme, very important, because you're going to base your whole open house on the theme, the decoration, the guest speaker, the topic you're going to talk about, the flyer you're going to make. The theme is very important. You can do around a celebration going on at that time, the 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or something new. Bridge, building the bridge is another theme you can do. Agenda. When do we plan the agenda? The day before? No, the same day or the day that is finished. Remember your point enough agenda. This is very embarrassing. When you go, you have 5 agendas, you have 50 people in the room, and they're all sharing agendas. You don't want. The agenda needs to be very specific. Remember, organize, set up the time when everything's going to happen. Start on time, finish on time. Make enough agenda. Specific about Toastmasters International, you need to give some specific, and about your club. Who are you? Are you GTM Legal Club, or are you the Guts Club? You're the Guts Club. That's a community club. You need to talk about your club. You can do that in the panel also. You can have a panel and some of the people talk about the club and Toastmasters International. We talk about speaker evaluation, very important, must be there. Activity and game, we talk about that. You need to do at least some games. People love that, they are involved and they laugh. Refreshment. Do you want refreshment, ma'am?
You know I love to eat.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, she does.
Good food, good food, good food.
Breakfast food, right? Coffee, juice, donut, fruits, and there's nothing there. If you want lunch, finger food, but something very light because they're gonna sleep all afternoon, right? But at night, heavy finger food, but please stay away from all dessert. Don't give dessert to people, only dessert. Why? Because they're gonna be jumping up and down during the meeting, and you cannot stop them. Refreshment is a plus, according to her. Culture of the club. The program also for me, this is your showing your heart, your club. The culture is the attitude of the club. Toastmaster International is very diverse. In our club, we have people from Ghana, people from Haiti, people from the Philippines, from the Dominican Republic. And the culture is the diversity of my club, the attitude. We believe in the values of Toastmaster: integrity, service, excellence. So this is what you're going to show. Structure of the club is what? Toastmaster International. Show the branding. Don't be modifying your stuff, putting all kind of colors and design. Follow the branding. The strength, like DTM Godly just said, is your strength. How many DTM you have? How many people you have in your club? What is the club good about? What are they going to gain from joining you? Meeting time and meeting our location, very important. Very embarrassing. If you used to meet in the third floor and now all of a sudden you're on the first floor, nobody can find it. You need to send that ahead of time. If you're meeting, hybrid or you're meeting virtually, send your link. Don't send a link for 3 years ago. They're never going to be able to get in. They're going to be frustrated and upset. Difference between corporate club and community. We are actually on base, but guess what? We're a community club, right? Anybody can join. Anyone. We have people from California, Virginia, Philadelphia. Anybody can join wherever. Somebody right now online from California. So that's just to let you know. Provide social media. She said she covered that already. Very important. Let them be able to access you via social media. Now we have the program. What do we need? Execution of the program. What do you need? A team. The team is made of a leader. Leader can be experienced like her or not experienced like a first timer here. But please, if you have a person with no experience, give them a coach, give them a mentor, explain to them how to organize open house. Do not only delegate, be very careful about that. People say, oh, delegate, you don't have nothing to do. Follow up and hold their hands if they don't have experience. Then the leader can use that as a project, level 3 or 4, 5, I think it's 4 and 5. Then the leader is going to have a team around them. We are not like solo here. Nothing is going to happen solo. You're going to get helpers. Like you were saying yesterday, I'm going to work for an office. I'm going to need help. I agree with you. People need help. So you get a team around you, but please, I would say ask for volunteer first. And if you don't get any volunteer, then you start tasking people. And this, if you task them, make sure that they know their responsibility, what to do, when to do, and have meetings with them periodically. How is that coming along? We're going to show you how in a minute. 5 weeks man, we're going to talk about that, but first, there's something that you need to do. Number 1, who are you targeting in your open house? Who?
Yes.
Or you targeting retirees, or you targeting students, or you targeting GS, who? So you're going to actually focus on your target, and then you're going to develop all of your activity around that target. We focus usually in community people and also on military people. So we have one open house on the base for military people and one virtually for community people. And like that, you can focus more, dedicate more energy. Also is the time of your open house. Or you're going to dedicate the same hour that you always have, or you're going to add a little bit more. Because we talk about panel, about table topic, about speech, about food. So I want to extend it a little bit. But let people know the open house is an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes, not an hour. So they know that you come early. And Veronica's going to talk about this too. The last one is the location. Well, you're going to have the open house, very important. Or you're going to keep it in this room. Or if you're virtual, or you're going to keep it virtual only. If you keep it in a room, same location, I would suggest to add more seats. because you might have more people coming that day. Look for the audiovisual. Do you have everything ready to go? Hybrid also important. If you're gonna do hybrid, it's a little bit more difficult to do, but you can have photographer, that's up to you. But I'm gonna ask Toastmaster Luis to make sure you take pictures of us as we speak today, so we can post it in the next open house. That will be great. Ma'am?
So let's, okay, let's put this in action. Because now it's time for you to really say, what do I have to do and how do we do it? And how long should it take me to do all this, right? It sounds like a lot, and it's gonna take me 6 months. We have a 36-day plan for you. There's a 36 days of planning. So it means dedication, focus, and really let's get it done.
Yes.
Let's start this plan. This plan is day 1 of 36. The first thing you're gonna do is make an announcement to your Toastmasters group. And solicit volunteers all in one in that meeting. We do this. Because if you have a large group or a small group, you want to be able to do this as early as possible and get people on board about the open house. And usually you have decided you're gonna have an open house for your club early on in your planning stages before you even have an open house, right? You're gonna choose your leader, your chairperson, whoever that may be, and that chairperson. And then you wanna make sure your officers are involved, because you're gonna need your vice president, you're gonna have your VPE, your VP of membership, your VPPR is gonna be very important, public relations. That's one of the key components of everything you do. And then everybody else, whether it be a refresh, somebody overseeing refreshments, somebody overseeing decorations, those are, somebody may be overseeing your whole programming process as well. Those are key things when you talk about how to initially plan out on day 1. Go ahead and select those dates and possible locations, because you want somebody to go identify if that location is available, hire me a location, and maybe at your same place, maybe a different venue, depending on who is your audience, all depends who your audience. And establish the theme as well in those first 1 to 5 days. First 1 to 5 days, establish what those themes are. Guess what? You do not have to be in person to do all this. You know, back in the day, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, back in the day, you would come together and you would meet together, right? We didn't think perhaps about Zooming as much or our virtual space as much. Do it virtually. All this can happen in a virtual, and you don't have to do it on your day of your meeting. You can do it on a Monday, a Tuesday, when everybody else is available. Do not have, don't confine yourself. Think outside the box. You got the box here, think outside of it. Everybody has a role. So let's get to day 8. Made it through day 1 through 7. Let's get to day 8. By day 8, you want to get those public PR materials ready and get that to your PR person. That can be out on the website, right? Out on the internet, out in virtual world, wherever it's going to be. Postings, like I said earlier, whether it be libraries, schools, Rotary clubs, the partnerships that you built. All those areas, get that information out there and decide whether or not you're going to RSVP and how you're going to do it. Because that may take a system to make that happen. Or you may do it manually by just sending emails. However you want to do it, just make sure you have a process in place. Well, we're rolling, we're getting rolling right, we're going down. Now it's time, that refreshment chairperson and that decorating chairperson, they ought to be leading your discussion. What do you want to serve? Because remember, we're on day 15. You only have about, what, 18, 11 more days, 21 more days to go. You gotta get your food ordered. Or you gotta get somebody to make food. Or you gotta commit somebody, whoever that may be. Start that process. In regards to decoration as well, have your someone begin shopping so they can get the materials and be able to put it up and all around. Whether you're gonna be building a bridge theme, right? Whether it be tiny habit themes, no matter the theme, get whatever you're gonna get for decorations. And identify what those 1 or 2 speakers are gonna be for your club as well. Call them up and see if they're available. You may want to do that a little bit early because people's calendars get booked. I know women's calendars probably booked a lot. Josiane, who's on virtual, I know may be booked as well. It could be somebody in virtual space, so let's not forget about that. They don't have to be in person to be a speaker because we have technology. Thank you for our technology. Oh, goodness gracious. Now we're 2 weeks along. Your heart is pounding. What am I gonna do? 2 more weeks. I got so much to do. That's why we have a plan.
Yeah.
Assign greeters to the door. Identify people who are gonna bring your name tags, so you can have name tags so people know who you are and who your guests are as well. Don't forget, You're trying to bring new members into your club and the open house, and you want to capture their attention by you being professional and organized. Let's not forget your guest book, gotta have guest book and write their names, and follow up. And gather such items as your banners, materials like we have here, folders, etc. One of the responsibilities in the process is that your chairperson must identify somebody who's going to be able to. I'm sorry, no, I'm right there. Nobody who's gonna develop your guest folders for you as well, and put those Toastmasters applications in there. Okay, keep that in mind. Guys, we're on home stretch because we're on day 29. We'll have too many more days to go.
Yes, please.
Confirm those RSVPs, determine arrival time, and do a pre-site inspection. Don't show up the day of and nothing works. You should do that throughout your process, really. From day 29, try to get to your site. Make sure things are working. If they're not, try to figure out how to make it happen. Because I guarantee you, on the day of, you still may have issues. But at least you've done initial, you don't have as many issues perhaps. And we made it, y'all said, right? We made it, give yourself a hand clap, you made it the day 36. All right, the day of, arrive early. All right, it says 2 hours on here. How much time do you really think you need?
Not 1 hour, please.
Probably a little bit more than 2 hours, especially if you have the space.
Yes.
If you know the space, 2 hours may be sufficient. If you don't know the space, 3 hours might be better. Because you have to set up. You have to get everything in order. You got the refreshments, you have your decorations, you have to put your guest book out. If you're doing hybrid, you gotta make, or you're doing Zoom and live, you gotta make sure that's working as well. You wanna test it out with the people there on site. You wanna do all those different things. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it when somebody joins your club and they are going to be successful. And that's the idea. You do all the work because you're trying to help, you're giving back, basically. It's about giving back. You're trying to improve somebody else's communication leadership from what you've learned in your journey as a Toastmaster. Don't forget, when you set that room up, you want to have a guest book, refreshments, decorations. I talked about that, and handouts. You want to have all the things that you prepare for in place and ready to go. And while your greeters are standing at the door and saying welcome. But if you say welcome, let us not forget to say what? Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your day to learn just a little bit more about Toastmasters. And we hope that you'll not only learn, but join our club as well. Or join someone's club, because it may not be your club. Don't be selfish. It's all about that sharing the wealth of knowledge and about Toastmasters.
Now, we finished the activity. Yes, big clap. We finished, we're happy. It's not only time. Who's going to join the club? Who's not going to join the club? We have two different scenarios. I'm going to join today. I'm going to join later. I'm going to join today. During the activity, make sure you have application in the world. Your VP membership is present to be the one handling the transaction, helping them to fill it up. Treasurer, if he's present, need to be the one picking up the money. This is one group. Second group, some of them are not really decided. I like it, but I don't know. Just to give you a very short, long story short, somebody who attended an open house hours not long ago told me 2 days ago, I want to join the club. And I said, why? They said, your open house was outstanding. You convinced me I want to be a member of your club. And that's happened 2 months later. So some people are not really decided right away. The undecided people, you need to follow up promptly. It's not follow up via a text, not a text, I mean an email. Sometimes people don't need email. Also follow up 3 different times. You can call them on the phone, you can text them. Make sure that they acknowledge that they know that you are following up. Very important, make a big difference. Very easy to delete an email. Follow up with them, you never know, they might not join today, they might join in 2 or 3 months. Answer the question. If you don't know the question, refer it to the people who know the question. Very important. I think the next one is going backward. I think they want to go forward. Measure of success. How do you know that the open house work, Wilma? Or do you know your open house work?
How do you know?
Yes. How do you know?
Because you get a membership, you get membership. You
Yes.
get feedback, but you also get something, you get a new member.
Very important. For me, the way that we measure it, we take attendance, right? And people come in. 10 people attended, 5 people joined, 50% response. Excellent. 10 people attended, 0 people joined. What does that tell you?
It wasn't a good open house.
Or maybe they are late coming in. So before to measure the success, wait a couple of weeks. But after 2 months, nobody joined, you need to go back. And of course, you're gonna analyze always, lesson learned, always, not only from the guests, but also from the members. What did they like, what they didn't like, what can we change? For our open house, we always have lesson learned. It doesn't have to be face to face again, you can be through computer, through the Zoom, whatever you want, but share your lesson learned and follow up on your members. You were gonna say something?
Well, I was gonna say, one of the things that you mentioned, you know, what if somebody doesn't join, what if you don't get a new member? And I understand that one of the things you want to also focus on for a group is members old members who have
Yes.
left, you reach out to them directly, because you do have, we're having an open house, we want you to
Yes.
see some of the things we're doing now. Sometimes it's an issue of recharging old members to come back, and I know that that happens quite frequently.
That's very important. And don't actually invite one person on open house. The more people you invite, the
Yes,
better, the best
exactly.
return that you have.
Yeah, open air.
Yes, and have a room big enough to welcome everybody.
Right, and let me just ask something as we go to this next slide. Success is not just how many members join, but success is also how well you did your open house and how well you got the information out there. So you gotta measure a lot of things, not just the number of joining, but also how well you do it just advertising. So you look at that, you might look at your Facebook posting to see how many actually saw your things, those things. So think about, when you think about measure, think about broad space, not just about membership.
Right.
Also, just because you didn't have members, it might not have been their season. And as Michelle and Wilma has stated, continue to reach out to them. That's the key. Continue to reach out.
And I
Never
noticed,
stop.
yes, just before I forget, I noticed that if you involve people in your group to be part of the team, they all get energized. They're like, oh, I want to stay in that group. I don't want to leave. And they're thinking about leaving the club. They want to stay because they're all engaged with activities.
So speaking of interactive sessions, we have one.
Yes.
However, we don't have as much time as we hope.
What time is it anyway?
It's almost 10:45. 10:41. So we got I think we have like 4 or 5 more minutes to go.
Yeah. I think-
Therefore, we're not gonna be able to do the interactive session, but we do have these questions.
minutes, yes.
We have about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to wrap it up in 10:45. But we do have this question. We're gonna do one, we have 3 questions. I'm only gonna do one this time just because of time. And we're gonna do this as a team, everybody, including those who are on virtual. So make sure you unmute yourself if you have something to say. The BPPR is asking for help to advertise your club's upcoming open house. Your target is to attract young entrepreneurs. How would you advertise? And what would you include in your program if you're attracting young entrepreneurs? What would you do?
Yes.
First, I would target their area of interest. And how do I incorporate the area of their interest into a Toastmasters invitation to come and see us? For example, software engineer, we can tell them how we can be able to communicate with them and how they're gonna be able to present in a comprehensible manner, whatever it is they're working on. And that's one skill that people will need to develop, depending upon their career and their task. How can they portray that to the general public?
Thank you. I think Don, you have a question? Did you have a statement?
No,
Okay, just thank you.
I was gonna say, I would definitely look at definitely put things on LinkedIn, and especially, and if you have people in they kind of have different focuses on LinkedIn, sometimes you can do that. But also, there are business, young professional meetup groups that are still extremely active. I was surprised. Well, our Toastmasters meeting was disrupted a few times because of the restaurant we met in. They would have like monthly meetings and get-togethers there. And there'd be like 30 or 40 young professionals there just for that meetup. I mean, they would crowd out customers and on over in Alamo Heights. And it was amazing. I didn't know they were that active, but every month we were get shut out because they were so loud. So, but we did have people come in and say, what are you doing? Because we started putting our sign outside the door.
That's good.
Yeah. it was cool.
Look at that, open house in a different way, right?
Yeah.
Open house in different, I just put my sign out, people walk in, open house. So like I said, here's the box, think outside of it. And in virtual space, any comments from virtual space? I think so, that was so one or two people. This is Josiane. Josiane, go ahead.
Yes, no comment at the moment. Thank you. It's all very interesting. Thank you.
Okay, no comments, she said.
No comment, okay. Something I want to just comment, I know that there is a club in Austin right now. They have over 100 members and they're all business people.
Yes.
And they come, like you were saying, they don't come only for the meeting, they come to talk. And after the meeting, they stay and they have fun and they have food and they drink, not drink, but can be iced tea, whatever. But they come for the community. So that's very important to remember that. If you have a group of young entrepreneurs, try to find some place outside your meeting so they can stay and gather after the meeting. Very important.
And let me just say this, another thing I just recently learned, because I'm in another organization, there's something, an app called GroupMe. So if you put your group, create a GroupMe and they'll find you,
Yes.
right? They'll find you. That's another way of doing it as well.
Well,
I use GroupMe.
GroupMe,
Yes.
yes. I just learned about it, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not always, but anybody can get me up to speed on that process. I'm gonna run through those. In summary, just remember, consider 2 open houses per year, 1 in the fall, 1 in the spring, capture them at both ends. Bookend, at the bookend, don't forget to plan and market, make sure your open house is a well-run open house. Follow up, as Michelle has stated, discuss whatever lessons learned so you can apply it to your next open house. And don't forget, we always have district bucks. Therefore, look out there on tmd55.org and see how your open house can get you some bucks to refresh your material.
Yes, yes.
Okay, any questions?
Yes, we're open for question now. I know we're very tight on time, but we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions if you have any. You're welcome to take all, yes, go ahead.
Can you give an example of an open house that you had before in the past? It was really great.
Actually, we did one not very long ago. I can mention the one that we just did. And yeah, we have it there at Lackland Air Force Base again. We have a larger room. Instead of having the regular room, we have a large room. And we had also a guest speaker coming from outside. That was very refreshing. We had also several people that came and give their testimony from other clubs. What did Toastmasters done for them in their life? We have many guests. I challenge people to bring please Don, bring a guest. Please, Wilma, bring another guest, please, please. So everybody was bringing more guests. It was a room, I would say pretty good. The food, oh my goodness. Tell them about the food.
So the food, I have a good friend of mine and her brother actually is a cook. And so I asked him if he would cook for us and he did. You just reach out and they may be interested in Toastmasters as well. That's how you do that interconnection. Anyway, he made some salad, he made a cake. He just did out everything freshly made as well.
Yeah.
That was just something that instead of us going to HEB and buying things or whatever, okay, for those of you in San Antonio, HEB, if you live in Austin, you have some HEBs, I don't know, but anyway. So, anyway, if you live in California, I don't know what you may have. However, just remember that however you do it, that's how you reach out.
Yes.
And like I said, those open houses in all shapes, forms, and fashion. It does not have to be more formal, it can be very informal as well.
Right. One of the challenge was the location, because on base, you have to have access to the base. So that was one of the worry we had, but it worked out just fine. We were able to carry everybody in. I didn't have the pass. And some of them, they were so amazed that they kept in touch with us. Yes.
And that's one of the planning tools that we have to incorporate. So think about what's special for your club as well. So we have to have people who are military and can get us in and out. Think about it.
All right, they opened the door.
All right.
We
so I
have all
think
these
the resources that we have. If you want to copy the presentation, just stay here and I'll enter your email address and I'll be glad to send it to you. But these are the resources that we use throughout our presentation. Can't go without giving notice to these.
Very
And that's it.
good.
And this is our contact information.
We can give it to you at the end. Thank you.
Michelle, that picture, that first picture, is that a cannonball that you're standing next to on the ground?
That's the what?
Okay, was that a cannonball on the ground in that very first picture that you had?
The one in San Domingo, oh, on the ground, this was actually, they put.
Thank you for your space as well. Thank you for joining us.
Like in the street tile. It was tile.
Hi.
Yes, on the street, yes.
Cannonball?
You're next.
I think so.